Hey, what is up guys? It's me, again, TimeFoss, and today we're going to be taking a look at Keeppley's Ultraman Tiga. So let's get into it. Now first and foremost, I bought this figure used. Most of the figures I bought are used now. What the heck is wrong with me?
Haha, poor!
Anyway, this figure is in fact a model kit. Just like Blokees, this is also a blind box gacha system thing. I've never bought Keeppley, nor have I ever experienced building one. So this will be my first blind in dive of a completed figure that I have not built, nor have I even experienced getting out of the box. And again, there's no box. Now the front doesn't look that bad. Now you may have noticed how plain the silver arms are, especially if you look at it, they have seam lines. Now, if you're a Gundam fan or a model kit builder, you know exactly how bad seam lines are. But it gets even worse when you go to the back. Now, it's a bit weird seeing Tiga's back is all purple. And that's coming from someone who always gets Chodo and, say, Blokees figures, which most of the time Tiga's back is a bit of red, not purple like this. And if you've noticed, there is no detail aside from the protectors, and that's because all of this is painted. And by painted, I mean printed. So if you ever scratch this up, you have to be careful when repainting this because that's a lot of undetailed surfaces. And also from the side here, it looks normal enough. And just for a quick size comparison of how big this Keeppley figure is, here's my last review, the King Joe Storage Custom. And as you can see, it's not that far off from the size of King Joe Storage Custom DX. And since it's a model kit, here he is next to a high-grade Gundam, so a bit taller than, say, a high-grade. And from the Blokees at the back, you can definitely see that it's taller than Blokees. But just for the sake of fun, here's a mini Megatron. You know, just for fun. Now since I bought my figure used, I'm kind of lacking the accessories it's supposed to come with. There are supposed to be fists, if I'm remembering correctly. And there are supposed to be some beam effects included. Mine did not come with that, and I forgot how much I bought it. And the head, it doesn't look that bad if my camera can zoom in. So the head doesn't look all that bad. I mean, it's okay. It's a good enough rendition of Ultraman Tiga's head. The protectors, however, are a bit weird. I'm being completely honest, I have a huge Tiga bias, so this kind of irks me. Now, who would I be if I did not do this size comparison, which I forgot. So here he is next to Chodo Ultraman Tiga, and this is where the size really shows. Also, I painted this figure, so the back is painted. Just want to let you know. Since this thing doesn't have any accessories, nor does it have any other gimmicks, whatnot, let's talk about its articulation. So first of all, the head can move up about that far. Not a whole lot, but it's a bit serviceable. It can look down that much. The head and the neck can move together, so they can move side to side like that, which is a bit weird. I never noticed how weird that looked like. And of course, the head can rotate all the way around, should you want to. Now, it's obvious that these can move out, but let's do the rotation, which again is a bit loose due to how it's constructed. I believe there's a frame inside here, but I don't dare to open this up. And the arm does come up a bit too easily. The arm can move out about that much, which is pretty impressive for this figure. There is no bicep rotation, but you do get an elbow rotation a bit slightly. It does want to come off the seam there, so I'm not going to do that too much. And the bend at the elbow is sadly only 90 degrees. It should have been more though. The waist here has two joints, so you can rotate the top part slightly and the bottom part slightly. That's not a good sound, isn't it? You can do an ab crunch and a really good arcing back, and the front does look a bit weird when it does this. He does have rotatable wrists, which are on peg joints, I believe. I don't dare to open this. I think I'm gonna like break it. This thing is already loose now. So the legs can kick forwards before they pop off. As you can see, the connection here is not the best, so you can kind of see how this would work. But given that this figure is a bit rickety, the leg can kick forward about that much before, you know, anything breaks. Due to the nature of the back, it can't move back all that far. The leg can move out about that far, which is okay, not too bad. The knee can bend this far 90 degrees. I kinda expected more, not gonna lie. The legs here, the feet here can move up and down all the way around like that. They can also pivot, which is fine. Not the best, not the worst. It can't rotate per se, just on this joint. Let's try to get him in a pose, why not?
A few moments later.
That is the most dynamic pose I can get with this figure before I start breaking something. And as you can see, the pivots work great, and you know, for its construction, it's not too bad of a posable figure. Just you gotta be careful, and of course the joints get loose over time. You know what, let's try to do the Zeperion pose before I, you know, end the video. What the fuck? So final thoughts on this figure. I really wanted to love this figure as much as I wanted to. However, some issues make me don't like it. Now granted, this is a used figure, so probably the issues weren't there to begin with. But the issues that cannot be avoided are the limited articulation as well as the build quality. Now, look, seam lines aren't a problem to me, but I know they are a problem to some. Which is to say, if you don't like seam lines, you're not gonna find this figure too particularly beautiful. Now, as a person, I mind two things in life when it comes to a figure: articulation and painting. Now, painting wise, the front is okay, but the back is left barren. Now, why is this an issue to me? I have Blokees figures, as you can see in the background there. But the reason I don't mind them not being painted at the back is because they're smaller figures, which means that, well, they don't have to be that super detailed. They fulfill a need of just being there, existing, doing minimal poses, and that's about it. Now this thing is bigger, so I kind of expected to have more painting, but maybe that's just wishful thinking. I'll put a price tag of this right now because I don't know how much this thing costs if you were to buy it online. And given that this is also a blind box, it kind of detracts a few points. Now, articulation wise, let's see here. 90-degree elbows and 90-degree knee bends. I'm already used to that. I've built many high-grade Gundams that have this kind of articulation, but it kind of gives you wanting more. Because this thing is bigger and a bit more taller, you kind of expect it to have more articulation. The waist is pretty damn good in terms of articulation. This figure would have definitely benefited from double jointed knees and double jointed elbows. And I can't say if the accessories are great. Like I said, I don't have the accessory pack. But if they were, I kinda would bump this up a bit higher. But overall, do I recommend this? Well, yes and no. If you're looking for something high quality, something as in Blokees scale, terms of quality, SH Figure Arts style-ish, ZD Toys-ish kind of figure, this is not what you're looking for. But if you just want a relatively fun build, representation of Ultraman Tiga in a big scale in your collection, I'd say, yeah, maybe go for it. You do have better options, I'm just saying. So this is not a good first impression of Keeppley. Then again, I have not tried their other products, so I'm kind of having a bit of hope that the other products for Keeppley are better than this one. I am eyeing on their Ultraman Noah figure, and Blokees is also doing an Ultraman Noah figure, so I might buy both of them just to compare which one is, well, better. It's gonna be Blokees, obviously, isn't it? Anyway, that's all from me. Stick around for more reviews in the future. I've been TimeFoss, and I'll see you all next time. Take care, everyone.